Thank you so much, Madam MC, the best. Ladies, good morning. All protocols observed. I feel like I'm in the midst of greatness. And there is so much energy in this room. As I look at every single face, I see ladies who are beautiful, ladies who are overcomers, and ladies who are ready to continue making a difference. It is a blessing to be in your midst. My name is LEMA'S. I am originally from Cameroon, but I live in the US. I'm a mother of 3, and I have a zeal and a passion for the work of a woman because I understand what it means to be a woman and to balance all these different responsibilities that are upon us. Before I start, I would like each and every one of us to give ourselves a hand of applause. It means a lot, for us to be in the presence of each other. I cannot believe that I am in South Africa speaking to you on the land of the great Nelson Mandela, the leader that has inspired the world, that we've read about. When I got the opportunity to talk to you today, what I told my daughter, she's 23, I said, I cannot believe I'm going to step on South African soil. I said, once I step out the plane, I'm going to touch down on the soil and I'll kiss it. Because South Africa means so much to all of us Africans. So I want to thank you for your spirit, your energy that has been transmitted all over the world to inspire us to aim for greatness, because that's who South Africans stand for. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I would like to thank my sister, Dr. Fleur, for the amazing presentation she's given. Thank you for all the nuggets you've shared. They are truly timeless. So today we are going to talk about thriving in your role, finding purpose where you are. As women, we grow up knowing that we have to be hardworking, we have to be change makers, we have to go in and do the work. And so we focus so much on everything and everybody else. But then a time comes when you have to ask yourself, what about me? Am I actually focusing on myself? Am I actually blooming the best I can? Because do you know that the more you put out, as the years go by and you're putting out so much, maybe you begin to drain yourself. A time comes when you have to sit back and say, I love myself. I cherish myself. How can I be a better me so that I can even be a more transformational leader? That is what led me to write this book, Self-Love Therapy. When I got to 40 years of age, I felt like I've been working so hard. I've been doing so much for everybody else. But then I felt like my life was starting. And I understood that for me to actually live a life of greatness, I had to understand who I was, outside of what society has told me that I am, outside of all the roles I have played. And so I decided to lean inward so that I can learn in order to produce better as a leader. I ask each and every one of us today to please give ourselves attention. Today I'm thankful for this book and thankful that many of you are going to read it, because once you read it, you will understand that you are not just somebody on the sidelines. In every role you play, every position you are the main piece of that puzzle at that time. It's not about your boss. It's not about your mother's friend, your family members. Once you realize that you carry that potential. You carry the gifts that you can share in order to bloom and transform. Then you will make a great impact as a leader. Finding purpose where we are, we first have to ask ourselves, what is purpose? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, what is purpose? Or what is my purpose? Or do you just go to work and you perform the duties and then you're back at home? To thrive where we are, we have to understand what purpose is. The great African American poet Maya Angelou once said, "One isn't necessarily born with courage, but one is born with potential." Each and every one of us has potential that we have not even started tapping into. I encourage each of us today, as you leave these doors, to actually ask yourself, what more can I do wherever I am, whatever role I'm playing at this time? How much more can I bloom? How much more can I transform? When we bloom, we transform. When my sister picked me up from the airport and we went home, I walked into her kitchen. What caught my attention was she had these beautiful plants by the window. Flowers, red, yellow. I was green. I was attracted to them. They didn't have to tell me, "Lema, come towards me, I'm beautiful." But because they were blooming, they attracted me to them. That's the power of a woman that blooms. When you bloom, you don't have to shout out to the world who you are. Your results, your presence, your energy is what is going to transform and move lives. I believe that each and every one of us in here can thrive even more than we are already thriving. And I challenge each and every one of us to do that after today. Are we ready to thrive even better? Yes. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, women of South Africa, let's do it. Defense intelligence women. You know, sometimes we forget what it means, to look at this type of work, defense intelligence. I've just been sitting here like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm in the midst of such leadership, because this is leadership that plays a key role in any nation. And I'm looking at women, as my sister said, that are not in uniform, but I can tell that these are leaders that are change makers. These are leaders that are leading this country to where it's supposed to be, and even to bigger. But I look at you and I see beauty. I see there is more to be done. My uncle actually was a translator for the Minister of Defense in Cameroon for over 20 years. So just to be in this presence and like defense intelligence women, it means a lot. I would like to appreciate the work you do and to thank you, because sometimes we don't thank ourselves enough. Sometimes we don't acknowledge the work we do from the home, the community, and everywhere else. Let's thank ourselves and let's actually understand that we have put in so much. Sometimes we tend to criticize ourselves a lot. Sometimes we look at our failures a lot. Maybe my relationship failed, or my brothers and sisters have this, that I don't. This person said this about me. So we start to define ourselves on our limitations. We forget that we are inherently gifted. There's a lot of talent that is in us. When I started thinking about self-love and focusing more on self-love, it helped me to understand who I was, and it helped me to understand that I am as unique as the next person. And in every leader, we do look and we see qualities that we love in them. That's great. But what qualities do you really love about yourself? How can somebody else look at you and find inspiration? I notice that most often we look up to others a lot and we forget that others are looking up to us. So as women that are blooming, remember there's so many others looking up to you as well. Embrace your unique path. Embrace your purpose. My sister's purpose is very different from my purpose. Just as my approach is very different from hers. She is making her impact, I am making an impact. I am the only one that can make the impact God created me to make. And if I'm so busy comparing or focusing on others, the world is going to miss out on the impact that God created me to make. So I ask myself, can I afford to go back to my Creator without having made the impact for why I am in this world? Can you afford for the years to go by without making an impact in the role you play at your work today? Imagine if you go in with purpose every day to work, and your purpose is to be transformational. Your purpose is that there are goals that we need to meet at this work today. How can we meet them? How can I be the leader that helps to move ideas ahead? Those are women that bloom. But blooming is not always easy. It's going to come with a lot of challenges. For instance, if you take a look at each of us right now, I'm sure somewhere close to you, there is a sheet of paper, right? So this sheet of paper, whether it's a book, a notepad, whatever it is, it actually was made from a tree. So a tree was transformed into a sheet of paper that we can actually make use of today. If you're putting on an outfit that's made from cotton, linen, that was transformed from some type of natural plant. Life is all about transformation. Each of us is capable of transformation. Transformation is we take our gifts and then we process it into something that can be useful for ourselves, our work, and the society. As women, what we do best, whether it's a woman in South Africa, my mom in Cameroon, or the lady I look up to in any other country, what we do is that just as paper is transformed from a tree, or an outfit is transformed from some plant, cotton plant, what we do best is that we transform dreams into reality. We transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. We break barriers. We take something little and we make something great out of it. That is the power of a woman. Is that the power of a woman? Yes. Thank you for agreeing with me. I do believe that that is the power of a woman. And I do believe that in order to do that, we will also have to overcome a lot of barriers. I think one of our first leaders that spoke actually talked about some of those challenges that we will face. So be ready to face challenges. I am the publisher of Dunia magazine. It's a publication that tells the stories of everyday people around the world. But what we did was we decided to create a group where we focused on the stories of women from different communities. We worked with women in South Sudan. So what we would do is every year we would bring women together and we would talk about their lives. In Atlanta, we would go into their communities, and they would share about themselves and also what was going on in their communities back home. For the South Sudanese women, we noticed that what happens in their community is many of them do bear a number of children. I would think that the average South Sudanese woman would probably deliver at anything from 6 kids or more. But what happened was, because there weren't resources enough in their villages or their towns, so many of those women were dying during childbirth. But then they had to keep having children. Women and the people of South Sudan had to find a way to help those women. And then we went into another group, Kenyans, and we noticed that female genital mutilation was still very common in parts of Kenya. And a lot of women, young girls, were still being subjected to that because they felt that that's what makes a woman woman, when you undergo female genital mutilation. And so the women of Kenya and others have to raise awareness, because those are barriers that women continue to face. And then we went into Congo, where rape was used as a weapon of war. And we raised awareness about that. But guess what? Despite all of these challenges, despite all of these barriers, these women did some of the most transformational work ever. These women overcame these challenges. They found a way to make a mark. They found a way to move their communities forward. And so each of us here, we are going to face challenges in many different ways. Each of us are going to experience emotions. Many of us will lay in bed and cry over our children, cry over our responsibilities. Each of us will feel like there is more we can do, but how do we do it? But as women, we have to understand that those that face the most uphill battles are those that also create the greatest change. They are also those that inspire the most. And that inspiration is not going to end with you. It will go down to generations. Because I stand here today, I remember the summers I used to go back to the village with my grandmom, and I saw how she handled the family responsibilities, how she would farm and bring home vegetables and corn. And just with some salt and oil, she would prepare dinner. She would serve the whole family. That's who we are as women. Please do not allow barriers to stop you. Know that you have to break through them. And as you break through them, that's how you write your story. And that's what you're going to pass on to the younger generations. Thank you for being here today. I want each and every one of you to know that you are extraordinary, you are a winner, you are a champion, and you are greatness. Thank you, Defense Intelligence Women.